he does not seem to have any robo facilities to actually get himself out. I guess he would be forced to destroy this pylon when he gets out. But anyway, Stebo pushing in with more stalkers and sentries, destroy that last cylinder there, but Texmix does have this sentry. Probably going to wall off a few immortals. There's a great force field right there. 2 immortals being trapped. That immortal on the side all gets sniped. That immortal does get sniped, so you always want to move your guys as far away from the force field as possible, and force field as low to the ramp as possible. That way units below cannot see up the ramp and the units above will get killed extremely quickly. But right now, looking at the harvesters, Texmix still has a large harvester advantage, and Stebo is just still doing sentry and stalker, and it looks like he is finally going to be attacking his own pylon right now, just so he can expand. There we go. But Stebo is actually still behind just because of his lower harvester count. And so if we look at units lost right now, they're actually fairly even. Texmix has lost a little bit more units, but his army composition is much better. Few sentries, few stalkers, and 2 immortals. So that is going to destroy a pure stalker army. And those sentries are going to prevent stalkers from retreating back up the ramp. And so this is not a good time to be expanding right now. He does not seem to be expanding, so good idea on his part. And he should just be warping in more zealots. Right now we're going to see a battle and 2 prematurely ejaculated force fields right now. So 100 energy gone right there. I don't know who casted that, but whoever did that, not the best choice. They should really force field while the battle is going on, just to split those units apart. And doing those preemptive force fields is only gonna be able to scare away the enemy. So both players on 1 base right now. Texmix does have the harvester lead, but not by much, as it is only 1 base, and both players going to be mined out soon at their main. They're going to have to, this is actually going to end up in just one big battle, and it's all going to come down to force field and immortal use, actually. Those immortals are going to be crucial in fending off the Stalker Sentry army. It does look like Texmix has the better army composition right now, so I think Stebo needs to get some more zealots and needs to just expand right now. There's the expansion going down, so he just needs to get a few more zealots. He should not be going stalkers anymore, as there are 3 immortals already in Texmix's army. So those immortals will do heavy damage to those stalkers. And it does look like Twilight Council is down, but no blink or charge yet. And we do have an observer out by Texmix. So that observer is going to see what everything Stebo is doing, and he should realize that Texmix does have the better army, and it's actually 81 supply, 255. So this army should be able to actually destroy Stebo's army, no problem, as long as those immortals do not get focused down, and there are force fields to split the army in half. But Stebo right now gonna run his army down. He actually sees Texmix's expansion while that was going on, but Texmix will be running his army back into Stebo's base right now. Going to be able to attack that pylon at the top on powering 1 gateway, actually, and he's actually moving his army back, so he doesn't want to get caught out of position when Stebo's army does get warped back in. And right now we should have a fight. Nope, Texmix does decide to retreat. He does have the army advantage. He should be building more immortals. There we go, 4th immortal, and Texmix has a commanding army lead right now. His army is about 1/3 bigger than Stebo's army, so we'll see who decides to engage first. Texmix should really decide to engage, as he only has a few stalkers, and those few stalkers. I'm saying he only has a few stalkers because stalkers are good against stalkers. And so you don't want to have a lot of stalkers if you're trying to counter stalkers. But yeah, his army is mainly composed of immortals, sentries, and zealots if you do decide to ignore those stalkers, which is very, very good against stalkers. And Stebo is morphing in more units. Texmix is going to go up. Oh, if Stebo can just get a force field right there, I would have cut his army in half, but Texmix does move up to the high ground just in time. And Texmix should be able to see Stebo's army with that observer, so I'm not sure why he does not decide to engage in open ground, as his army is just much more powerful than Stebo's army. Building another immortal, those immortals are going to just destroy those stalkers once he does decide to attack. And so Texmix really is going to have to... he's actually in a good position right now. He does have more harvesters than Stebo, and he is able to defend his hidden expansion very well. And it looks like he is planning to expand at his natural now. So 4 immortals, and Stebo's observer actually gets sniped by Texmix with his observers spotting for it. But right now, if we look at the army, it's 108 to 77. So So Texmix has a huge army advantage, and his main is actually mined out, so that's why he was forced to expand at his natural. And this is actually really bad because right now he is not mining from those large amount of harvesters, and he is forced to long distance mine. Looking at the income right now, it is 400 to 740 just because long distance mine. And we look at this, and there's going to be a huge battle going on. Those mortals not attacking right now; they're stuck behind the stalkers, and we should see some force fields to cut off that army in half. And right now, there's the force field going down, but those immortals are going to just do so much damage to those stalkers. And Texmix is actually retreating, so I'm not sure why he did that. Perhaps he thought he had the lower army, but it's pretty certain that Texmix's army is vastly superior to Stebo's army, especially because those immortals are just so good and they're so expensive. Yeah. Right now, though, I think Texmix will be able to get his Nexus up soon, and his income will skyrocket after that. He is actually not that far behind for doing some ridiculous long-distance mining. And it does look like Texmix does scout Stebo's proxy, so we're going to see how this game is going to continue. It looks like there's just going to be one last battle, and Texmix does have the superior army by far against Stebo, so I'm not sure why he's pulling in. He has 5 immortals. Those 5 immortals could probably take on all of those stalkers. Well, not all of them, but at least a significant portion of those stalkers, and Texmix is slowly gonna destroy that proxy pollen. Stebo right now does have his natural pretty well saturated, but he's actually has a Colossi, but Texmix does have 50 harvesters over Stebo's 32, and he decides to push out right here, and there's some nice force fields pushing those units back, not getting a lot of service area, but Stebo's army is mainly armored, and Texmix does blink into the middle, focusing down on that Colossi, and Texmix's Immortals is doing straight up work against those stalkers, and he wins without any problem. So Stebo GG's, and that is game 2 of Texmix versus Stebo. My name is Lisa with 8 E's, and I'll see you guys later.